Intro.
Alrighty, welcome to the super special 4th of July Spectacular, featuring guests from BW Sports 1. Alright, well, we already lost one person, so we are just kicking this off right away. I scared off Damon already. Oh, nope, he's back.
It's that cell phone connectivity issue.
Yep, he's going to be, I feel like he's going to be in and out.
What's the excuse this time?
No. It's not the signal at all. That was all me. So I went to look at the privacy. There we was talking about that damn private chat. I saw that there was a chat. So I went to hit the chat. And then when I go to swipe to go back to where I was, it took me all the way out.
There we go. So Matt is in the chat.
That's
there
the
we
excuse.
Go. Now we got it. Now I lost. There we go. Okay. So what in the world are we doing here? This is the 4th of July special spectacular extravaganza special. The official title.
That's the title. Everything, the extravaganza special super show spectacular. I don't know.
Once a year edition. He can't connect via his phone. Okay. I'm just gonna put off his public commentary here.
Just throw it in.
Just keep throwing it in here.
Was he? Oh man, it's that Pennsylvania Dutch internet.
They have internet in Pennsylvania in some of those Amish spots.
Duh.
I mean, yeah. You're the bad guy.
I mean, we're not completely in Amish country out here. It's a little more towards Lancaster, but I mean, within.
I've been to Lancaster.
Oh.
I've partied in Lancaster. It's hot as shit in Lancaster.
Yes, it is, and it smells like shit.
It did have a pungent odor to it when I was there.
It did or did not?
It did. I was like, I can't place it, but it has a certain.
That's New Orleans on Bourbon Street. Oh my gosh, smells there. I'm like, okay, get me out of here. But should we do a little round the table here of introducing ourselves? Everybody should know us because they see our beautiful faces weekly at every different show. For example, I am Stephen A. 1181 from the awesome Super Kicking with Stephen and Greg. Over there, we got Quigs. Tell us a little bit who you are.
I'm a guy on a screen who likes the sound of their own voice and likes talking baseball and just a bit outside.
There you go. And then, of course, we got the one down there. He does a little bit of everything for us.
Man, I'm all over the joint. But if you really want to see me, you can catch me during football season on Dukes of Football with the homie, the Lion. And then during basketball season, you can catch me with Big Storm and Mormon for the state of basketball.
Basketball has been in the forefront with all the NBA free agency talk. We want to tackle some of that. Does anybody have any good free agency stuff happening? Lots of
there's so much. Around. Today might not get a lot today due to extenuating circumstances of fireworks and other shenanigans. But the free agency has been exploding since Friday afternoon when it opened up. I know you guys up there in Philly are keeping a close eye on this James Harden opting in to force a trade.
Is he gone?
I don't know. I mean, he can go, but they can also work out a deal where he can stay. So I don't know. I mean, it's a lot to pay attention to. Joel Embiid has been extremely quiet on this situation. There's a lot going on in Philly. They got a new coach as well. So I know he's keeping a close eye on that. But really, I mean, there's a couple teams that made a lot of moves. The Lakers have been extremely active in free agency. I guess the big news is Dame Lillard saying finally that he wants out of Portland because after the draft, even though there he is. Even though Scoot is going to be a good point guard, but it's not what they need. in Portland if they want to keep Dame. So Dame's out. I'm anxious to see where Dame's going to go. Looks like Kyrie is going to stay, but I mean, it's exciting in free agency. And here in hometown, I know Steve is keeping an eye on the Pacers. You know what I mean? You signed Halliburton to the max deal. This is the thing that I really want to talk to Storm about when the next time we get on the show is with the Halliburton. The thing with the Pacers and the Simons family, they've always encouraged winning, but they never went out and spent money like you really want to win. That's why no free agents ever really come here or they keep stars that they develop here. But this Halliburton signing the max deal is huge for the fan base here to understand that the Simon family is really trying to win a championship. And they're going to spend the money to do it. Acquiring Bruce Bowen was pretty good too. So
Bruce Brown.
Yeah, Brown, Bowen.
You know how many times,
showing my age.
I was going to say, you know how many times I read as Bruce Bowen whenever I see his name come up?
What the heck happened there?
You're not.
I don't know. He's that thing.
Sorry, I hit the wrong button. I was going to say I resent the whole I must live in Amish country internet because I just couldn't get audio through my phone.
Oh, okay. Well, then I apologize greatly for that.
I defended you, Matt. We're not quite in full Amish country. We're in partial Amish country.
There's some Amish country here in Indiana.
We're Mennonites. We're Mennonites. We have access to our credit cards.
If you go up north by Notre Dame, there is a little bit of Amish country up there.
There is on your way to if you go up 37, not 37, you go up 421. Yep. You can run right into a little small patch.
I remember way back in the day.
We're going to keep talking about PA Dutch jokes. Y'all remember that show Amish Mafia?
I'm related to that.
I remember hearing it, but I didn't watch it.
Oh,
I'm the Amish Mafia. I'm the Amish.
So bad.
Didn't they do the kids who would go off for a year and then have to decide if they're going to come back?
That's Rumspringer. That's a traditional thing.
Okay, they did I think there was Amish Teens or something, whatever the show. There was a teen show too. So
something like that.
Yeah,
it's been a while since I've been on this thing. I almost forgot how to use it.
Well, I understand. I got it. I had to get a code. I had to resend the code.
I didn't do that part yet. I'll have to redo that. Every time I get on it, Dan has to resend me the code because I don't get to do anything in a while.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yes.
But just to finish up on the little basketball tip. Yeah, just to finish up on the basketball tip. You know what I mean? The big thing right now is Summer League is just starting. You know, you had the draft a little over a week ago, Victor Wembanyama, who I don't understand why everybody's so just gushing over him. You know what I mean? Like, bro, you wasn't even in the top league or the second best league in Europe, and they're acting like you're the next coming of LeBron, Michael, Kobe. So
he's got to get some weight on him, though.
Oh, my God, you're like 12 pounds. Like, you're skinnier than Reggie.
Chet Holmgren finally looks like he's getting some muscle on him.
And they said he picked up 13 pounds. So you got the pre-summer league games going on right now. I think you got the Classic that's in Sacramento. And then you got one that's going on. Now, the Classic is in Sacramento. Okay. And then you have one going on in Utah. Okay. Actual Vegas Summer League starts next week. So
and that's the big one that everybody watches.
Yeah.
That's where all the good picks go.
Because I think Holmgren's the one that I think I kind of want to see. Because he got hurt in Summer League last year, right?
He got hurt playing against LeBron in the Drew League.
Yeah, so we'll see how he does this. It's a rookie season for him. But,
if you had some muscle, you wouldn't get hurt.
Well, that's the big thing with Victor. With Tombe.
Wembanyama.
Sorry, yeah. Wemby. Victor.
Just call it like W.
V-Dub.
There you go.
V-Dub.
Not the other Victor guy that is back in Oklahoma City.
It's like Worcestershire sauce, W word sauce.
Are we ever going to
sister sauce?
I don't even want to touch Victor Oladipo.
Oh, yeah, because you're going to get hurt. You're going to get hurt.
You can take James Harden from Philly.
Well, now I see Ben Simmons might be out too, which
shocker.
Another
again.
guy.
Why are we talking about Ben Simmons? Why is he not in Taiwan with Dwight Howard?
He put on muscle.
Ben Simmons has posted his yearly "I'm in the gym working out" video to where he'll attempt to shoot like 1-3, somehow make it, and then never shoot one beyond the foul line.
Listen. I will put my money on Andy Murray winning the Wimbledon championship before I put my money on Ben Simmons being a productive player in the NBA
again.
Yeah.
So listen, I was just stopping in because I wanted to say hi for a little bit. I gotta get back.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Doing ribs. I'm making smoked corn on the cob, some baked potatoes, and I got some cheesecake.
Wow.
Get ready to watch Joey Chestnut eat like 70 hot dogs on top of it.
Is that what are we?
Okay.
We're saying
that is a great segue to some ridiculousness for 4th of July.
Let's go.
I will go.
What are we setting it at? Or what does the sports book have it at?
Where's Raphael?
Yeah.
Yes,
Daniel.
Hold on.
Let's not go off of anybody else's over under. Let's go off of our own guys over.
Yes, our own guy, our inside.
Hey Dan, if you're watching, text Raphael and see what the over under.
I would
Is Raphael
guess.
up yet? He's in Vegas, so he might.
Yeah, he might be.
No, he's in New Orleans. He's in New Orleans.
Sorry. Okay.
So
he still might be in bed.
He still might be
there
in bed.
for good now.
I will say.
Yeah, he's been in New Orleans all year. He writes for. He does some stuff down there. I think he does some stuff for the Saints too.
I'll leave you with this. I say he eats 74 hot dogs.
What's the record?
That's too many damn hot dogs.
77. I think.
Hey, listen, are these all beef or are these byproduct hot dogs?
Nathan,
who cares? It's gross, dude. I might not, dude. I don't even think I've eaten 77 hot dogs in my freaking life. This dude eats them in
I have.
I have.
I eat like 6 at a time, bro.
I do a few times. I mean,
yeah, I'm gonna give you at least 3, especially with some nice, good chili coney sauce and some cheese and some chopped onion on top of there. Come on, bro. You gotta eat a dog.
I'll tell you what. I don't really eat hot dogs because several years ago, and Tim knows most of our guys, like most of my friends group, we went to a Harrisburg Senators game and some cute girl enticed us to do a hot dog eating contest.
Trace, I was filming.
Yeah, Tim filmed it. Tim filmed. I forgot. Tim filmed it.
This is a great story. I was doing my internship with the Senators at this time, and this is before I ever met these guys. And we're on headsets talking to each other. And it's like, oh, we're gonna do a hot dog eating contest in like the 4th inning or whatever, and they have 2 innings to eat whatever.
No, it was 3 outs. We had 3 outs to eat as many hot dogs as we could, and the winner got a dugout suite for them and 10 of their friends. So the odds were in our favor because there was like 6 of us, and the kid that won ate like 12 hot dogs and 3 outs. I had, I think, like 5.
Faber had 2.
He went back and got more food afterwards. I'm like, that's fucking gross, dude. Sorry for the language, but that turned me off of hot dogs.
Now, were they their normal hot dogs?
Oh, we won. We won.
Oh, you won. Okay.
Yeah, we had 1st, 2nd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. The odds were in our favor.
But you got to look at it. The hot dog is, one, my nerd ass watched the story, the history of food on the History Channel, and hot dogs had like a whole hour segment. So I've learned a lot about hot dogs, but that's beside the point. There's nothing like a barbecue, and you got links on the damn grill, and they're done. They're in the pan. Just keep walking by, just grabbing the dog, and just walk around the yard with a beer in one hand, a hot dog in the other. You know what I'm saying? That's 4th of July.
Americana.
4th of July is my ribs I have on the smoker. Anyways.
Yeah, I got something in there chilling right now, ready to be tossed on this pellet grill behind me.
Well, you guys, I will tune in. You guys have a good rest of the show. Enjoy your 4th of July, and make sure everybody comes back with all 10 fingers, because I'd hate to see you guys look like Jason Pierre-Paul before it's all over.
Hey, one of those nubs has a ring on it.
No,
his only finger left has a ring on it.
Got that one ring.
And it's that finger.
Yep.
Have a good one, Source.
See ya.
Later, man.
Enjoy the cooking. All right. So Joey Chestnut, did he win last year? I don't even know.
He's won.
I don't know when he.
Decade.
Yeah, I don't know when he's lost.
Yeah, I think they showed last year. They had a protester come up on stage, and he knocked the person out. Or was that 2 years ago?
I'm taking.
If it wasn't one of those If it wasn't one of those naked protesters in Europe, I don't care.
I haven't seen any of those in France yet. Where's the naked French protesters?
Are we gonna dump paint and glue ourselves to a famous piece of art too?
Yes, do that.
In the name of climate change, I'm gonna
Or
glue
how about
myself
when
to painting.
Banksy? Did you ever catch that story when Banksy had his art sold? They hit a button
Man.
and going down in a paper shredder.
Man, I was so angry about that paint, man. That was like, come on, man.
Somebody
really? That
was it 2 or 3 million, and they sold it, and boom, it went right. It started shredding itself.
Yeah, so I'm taking a look here at the official
Okay.
Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest Wikipedia page. Chestnut has won it every year since 2007.
Wow, that's
hey,
domination.
man, that's a lot of wieners in his mouth.
That's all man meat.
And Nathan's are all beef hot dogs too. So
all beef.
All beef.
Yeah, Nathan's is all beef.
Not a
That's
wiener.
like the kosher brand or something.
Yeah. It was. I used to work in Hershey Park over the summers, and the Nathan's stand they had in the water park. It's all connected. So Nathan's controlled everything going in. There was nothing affiliated with Hershey Park in those walls. That stand rivaled the Coney Island stand every weekend during the summer in terms of revenue made. So,
and Nathan's hot dogs, we buy them here. I'll buy them. We eat all beef, so I'll buy them.
Oh, that's all I get anymore. I get the.
I mean, they're expensive as shit, but but they're one of the few ones who naturally come with the bundlings.
Yeah,
that's what you need.
And they don't make you pay an extra $1 because you got the small ballpark that leaves about a 1/4 inch of bun.
Now, I like the bun at Freddy's. I don't know what that bun is, but that's a pretty good bun. It's almost like a bread.
So looks like the record as well. I love how they abbreviate these records. Like, he had hot dogs per minute. They call it HBD, and they'll always refer to it as the record for HBD, hot dogs and buns or whatever. It's apparently at 76. That was set in 21.
Just
2
years ago.
So the nastiest part about it is then they dip it in their drink.
In the water.
Yeah, that's no. I do not like a soggy bun.
No.
Yeah.
No, and it's not just soggy bun; it's them soaking it and then just literally
sliding it. Yeah, they don't even chew it up; they just slide it down. Just goes down the guzzle.
I mean, hey, listen, because we like large portions of food.
Yeah.
You go over to Europe and you get this last cup. That's not going to do anything for me. My son drinks more than that.
Yeah. I mean, this size anywhere outside of America is probably deemed unholy. And this is just water.
Yep.
Water. It is legit water. Don't question me on that one.
Listen, I'm with you, bro. We're teeing it up for the moment.
Yeah.
Here's to America.
But I do feel me drinking imports on the most American days of American days.
Modelo? You're going to be sucking some Modelo?
Hey, there's a good chance I might have, because there's some Negro in there. There's some Corona in there. I got some El Jimador in there. Now, there's a good chance that I'll drink some bourbon. So I will get some American. But it's Taco Tuesday, too. So one of these things that I'm cooking is... So one of these things I'm cooking is going to be in the form of a taco.
Taco or burrito? Which one's more effective? The more effective inhalation of food. Are we going to go taco or wrap it in burrito? I'll talk just quantity in the easiest way to shove food in your face.
Then it would have to be the burrito, because the taco is for more appearance. You know what I mean? Your taco places tend to have a design to them. You can't really do a whole much with a burrito. It's like, hey, bro, I've been drinking for 4 hours. I'm leaving out of Broad Ripple at the Land Sharks, and I went over here to La Bamba's for burritos as big as your head.
He's telling his old days. Listen to that. Land Sharks, La Bamba.
But the question is a burrito a sandwich?
No, you mean is a hot dog a sandwich?
Either or. Is either one a sandwich?
I mean, it's a it's meat in a bread. Is that
which is technically a sandwich?
So
or anything in a piece of bread?
I think hot dog can be more of a sandwich. So like all hot dogs can be sandwiches, but all sandwiches can't be hot dogs type of thing.
Okay, I can give you that.
If you go to a sandwich shop, though, how often are hot dogs on the menu?
Never, because not all sandwiches are hot dogs.
Yeah.
But how often are hot dogs on the menu anywhere?
That's true.
I mean, Five Guys. But Freddy's is a sit-down restaurant, though.
They're what?
They're a sit-down restaurant.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. You can get to go.
Are we talking?
Well, you got Sonic.
Yeah.
You got Sonic.
Yeah, Sonic.
Oh, if you want to count that, then you got Sheets. You got Rudders.
Never heard of them.
Is that your version of Sonic? It sounds like. Is it like a hot dog?
So in Pennsylvania, we've got quite a few different territories clashing in on each other. Sheets is from out near Pittsburgh. They've moved over. Wawa is down from Philly, Jersey area coming up, and Rudders is just kind of like a blob in the middle.
Hot dogs are the redhead stepped out of sandwich.
That is great.
He is totally against hot dog. It sounds like wow.
Nobody wants it, but everybody eats them.
Everybody eats it.
Do I see? And again, too, this is the day. Do I want to eat like 8 hot dogs? Yeah. No, but it's America's birthday, so yeah, let's go.
Happy birthday, America.
Matter of fact, I would tell the wife on her way home, I would text her, hey, why don't you grab a whole pack of Franks to throw on the grill? Unlike them charred lions and wieners on the grill.
Bring me the wieners, wifey.
That's terrible.
What the heck? Just put a bunch
That's
of eggplants.
Terrible.
Just say, give me some eggplants.
That's absolutely hilarious because I made eggplant last night.
Oh, did you? Whoa. Breaking news. TheOne ate some eggplant last night.
Man, I mean, I know it's hilarious, but it's I mean, I give it a good B. I give eggplant a good B plus as a meat substitute. Like I did, and this is one of the few times I've actually done a meatless Monday. You know what I mean? And I've had this eggplant parmesan on the menu for like 3 months, but I keep pushing it back, you know what I mean, doing something else. But in the perfect foods show up is an eggplant. So I'm like, well, guess I better make it. And I did. And fun fact, did you know eggplant is a fruit?
Because it grows on a vine?
Because the seeds are inside.
Our seeds are okay. Yeah.
Same reason that tomatoes are fruit.
Yeah.
So is a cucumber fruit?
Yes.
It is?
No, yeah, because all squashes are fruit. Zucchini is a form of a squash. It's in the squash family.
Uh-oh. Oh, I was going to say, he's checking it.
This is too. I am checking it too.
Yeah, see, I can tell when this is the
pumpkins. Yeah, pumpkins is
a fruit.
Yeah, pumpkin is a form of a squash. It's a fruit.
But strawberries, isn't that the seeds on the outside?
According to blah blah blah, cucumbers are considered fruits. You may not think of cucumber as fruit, but in I'm not even going to try to pronounce that word terms. They have more in common with melons, such as cantaloupe and watermelon, than any other vegetable.
This is why TheOne is the cook of the show.
Hey man, what's my new catchphrase for the kitchen? Food knowledge is kitchen power.
Oh, you need the little rainbow.
Put it on a shirt.
You need that on the rainbow, like the more you know.
Put it on a shirt.
I
want shirts. I want hats, aprons.
A chef's hat. A chef's hat with that. A sous chef hat.
Get one of those spatulas where it's got like the cutout area. Like,
there we go. That is the perfect part right there. You're cooking on the hamburger.
That'd be great.
A brand.
So, just to segue a little bit, what's going on in the baseball world, man? This is dead smack in the middle of baseball season.
Yeah, we're
America's pastime.
Just hit the not just hit the All-Star break, but that game's coming up next week. Got about another week's worth of games before they take a break. They've already announced the starters for both leagues. They're trying to figure out who's going to be in the home run derby on next Monday, I believe. So it's weird right now. Like, I keep going through my phone of things to like try to bet on, and it's just baseball. And you think I'd be hitting every bet? I can't hit shit.
Need Raphael.
I do. I thought
on speed dial.
I had a parlay going with the Reds last night. Had the Reds just scored one more run, I would have won. But
Man, I know these local Reds fans around because Indianapolis we don't have, or Indiana, excuse me, we don't have a national baseball team, so they tend to branch out. If you are the western northern side of the state, you tend to be Cubs fans.
yeah,
The Southwest tends to be Cardinals fans, and everybody else tends to be Cincinnati fans. So to see the transformation of the Reds, I mean, one, those black uniforms are pretty freaking sweet. But to see the transformation of the Reds and deleting their division, this is a pretty big turnaround for them.
They had a pretty good streak too, didn't they? How many games in a row did they win?
They won like 12 out of 13 or something like that. They were on 12 on a row, and then the Braves snapped it. But the last show John and I did, I think I let it off with an apology to the Reds and Reds fans because we kind of creamed on them a little hard coming into the season. Like, what are these Reds going to do? Just going to be basement dwellers. And then all of a sudden, oh, here they are making me eat my own words, which
we've done that so much on Dukes of Football, bro.
Yeah. You don't know any. I mean,
that's
why we do these shows. We don't know anything.
Just say something stupid, roll with it, and then when you're wrong, just be like, yeah,
hey,
I'm wrong.
Try running a wrestling show at times. Some of you tend to eat a lot of your words after an event.
Oh yeah, especially with what just happened there with Roman Reigns getting pinned for the first time since
3.5 years.
And it wasn't like a dirty pin either. It was legit. No, it was clean.
It was a little low blow.
Well, the kick out low blow, yeah.
But that actually played back into when he did that to Jay in a match. So I love the little details that wrestling does when they do it right is ridiculous. Just because Jey Uso was the very first person to pin Roman ever as well.
Oh, really?
So that's how full circle that thing has come.
When wrestling's done right, it's great. When it's done terribly, oh my God, is it bad?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen some really bad wrestling. I've seen some really. I mean, I've always been per se a fan of the arts of wrestling entertainment.
Yeah.
Since I was a kid, but it's been hard lately for me to latch on to any of these young superstars in WWE or AEW. It's just that I know there's a lot of the older guys that I'm used to watching, but you guys are old. Like, go away, Steen. Go away, Jericho. Like, please don't make it hard for us like it was being a Ric Flair fan. The last 20 years, bro, you should have been somewhere doing something else.
I think you need the money. He's got those 4 divorces.
I mean, like, if you're going to stay in it, like, be in the part where...
Here's the thing, too. Goldberg. His name keeps coming up. I'm like, dude.
Oh, my God. He's so trash.
Go away. I told you sucked on Twitter. You blocked me. That's fine. Whatever.
Oh, he did block you.
Yeah, of course. He blocked me.
Goldberg is trash, man.
You name and be like, gone.
If you watch a lot of these documentaries and these little interviews and shit, there's like very, very few wrestlers that have any positive things to say about Goldberg. And the biggest thing that I hear is unprofessional. Like, you don't even work at your craft. Like, we study, bleed, sleep this, and you just, whatever. And they give you everything. Like,
he came at the right time. Like, WCW needed that big, heavy dude. His football career was over. I mean, what?
Never began.
Yeah. That's the story of a lot of that's a lot of those former football players in the WWE, honestly.
Speaking of former football players turned wrestler, I think either you shared it, Steve, or maybe it was Dan, but Draws passing away.
Yes, the passing of Draws. Puke, as he lovingly became to know.
He's
got a puke. Apparently, he puked on a Monday Night Football game, and Vince McMahon saw that later on. Is like, well, damn, we need to sign that guy.
I was gonna say who would have been the biggest name from football to cross over that had success in both. Like, because they get like The Rock went to Miami and didn't really make it, got hurt. CFL got hurt, comes to wrestling. Roman Reigns was at Georgia Tech, didn't quite pan out. Brock Lesnar tried the other way, couldn't quite make it.
Like Brock was on the Vikings practice squad.
Yeah.
Baron Corbin.
Yeah.
Was on the Colts for a little bit. The practice squad, and he was on the Cardinals.
I mean, do you want to count McAfee in that argument as one of the best to cross over? But
I mean, you can. You can. He's got. I mean, he's getting $85 million from freaking ESPN, and he's getting 15 from Triple H. So,
and he's had WrestleMania moments, and he had what was he, the greatest punter of the decade?
Something like that.
Listen. Pat McAfee has to be the most famous guy to do the dumbest shit of all time. Like, I don't know if the next time you come to Indianapolis or first time, we'll have to take you to tell you to the canal. Like, it's cleaned up a lot because they've done a lot of construction and renovation around the Broad Ripper area. But that is the least, next to White River, that is the least body of water that you want to jump into. Like, it made him a superhero. Like, he got mutagen all over him and shit. Because it was like he was on his way out the league. I
mean, if you want to talk about disgusting rivers, the Susquehanna is pretty damn nasty. And that's the river, too, that's supposed to cool down 3 Mile Island.
Oh, that's amazing.
And I can't quite turn the camera around. They've officially shut down the nuclear power plant, but I am probably within 5 miles of it. I have the "You're Dead" siren in my backyard.
Oh, no mame's way.
I have in my back alley. There's it's an old siren horn. They did the final warning test a couple years ago when we first moved in, but. Yep, they officially shut the plant down. But yeah, I've got HIA a few miles down, and then a couple miles down from HIA is the nuclear power plant.
I mean, I know you think about back in the day.
If I ever say anything stupid on whether in chat, from
it's the power plant.
I mean, I was thinking, back in the 50s and 60s or 40s and 50s, they had to do nuclear drills, and I'm like. What do you hide? Like, you're not hiding from nuclear explosions. Like, you're dead.
No.
Or you're very messed up for the rest of your life.
Oh, you're jacked up.
Like in Chernobyl. There's
still, TMI. The TMI incident was 1979, so I clearly wasn't around, but my parents were still in the area at the time. If you watch the Netflix special on that or anything like that, apparently, Harrisburg area came within 5 minutes of being Chernobyl, supposedly.
Supposedly.
And like they said, there's just like Flint, like the water up there, like that could mess up people for generations. They're saying.
Yeah,
Oh man, listen, I don't even want to get on Flint.
I know that.
I don't want to get on Flint. Well, if I was the people of Flint, I'd be so angry with my people, bro. We didn't talk about your water for 10 years.
Yeah.
And these people ain't got y'all good water. Hey, man, listen, boy.
Yeah.
Talking about anything good there, I want to clarify a comment in the chat here. Say anything stupid because I'm an Eagle fan. Let me rewatch my Super Bowl plural on Blu-ray. I'll put it on Blu-ray in picture perfect quality and not have a tape that I have rewound 35 times, reliving the past, and the tape.
Is he a Cowboys fan again? Is he a Cowboys fan?
He's Cowboys.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Oh, he still don't have as many as I do.
Oh. There you go.
But I don't get in those conversations because we've been sitting on 6 for a while. Like everybody's been catching up.
Yeah, I joke, Matt. You know what I'm talking about, but I can't just let that sit and not be like, okay, yeah, I'm an Eagles fan.
Well, he had another comment that was pretty interesting on there.
This one?
Yeah, that one, because listen, that's not the same. That's not the same. You have to see the canal. That water he jumped in Tennessee, that was staged. You know what I mean? They still had this shit was like, people
chlorine in the area.
Yeah, like the stuff he jumped in down here, bro. Like you don't want to eat the fish out of there. Like you don't even want to fish.
He was drunk.
You don't want to fish in the Susquehanna either. They pulled a fish out a few years ago that had a tumor on its head the size of a fist.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
And of course, they have
power plant.
I always joke about the White River. You got to watch out for the floating fingers and hands and bodies. So, you never know what's going on in there.
Yeah, we get all kinds of shit floating in the White River, bro.
And that goes right into the Mississippi. So there you go.
Susquehanna flows into into the Chesapeake, flows into the Atlantic. So.
He's bringing up something about Jimmy Hoffa.
Hey, I've swam in that river plenty of times. I'm still here, just a little dumber.
Jimmy Hoffa.
I thought wasn't Jimmy Hoffa buried on like the 25-yard line at the Meadowlands or something?
Well, that was when
that's a rumor.
Wasn't that the Geraldo? Remember Geraldo?
Oh my God! I am old enough to remember that. I am so old enough to remember that
whole. Open up the vault. And there was like nothing.
And he was so disappointed.
Nothing. Baby Jessica was more exciting than that.
Oh yes, it was. But man, the Hoffa thing, I've heard like 90 different things with Hoffa, man. I've heard Yankee Stadium, I've heard Madison Square Garden. You know what I mean? We've heard we've heard at the bottom of the Chesapeake with concrete brick. We've heard all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
man,
what they're saying is he just has body parts everywhere.
Listen, I feel that they took him up to the countryside where the pigs are, like how we got in Winchester, and threw that body in, because they'll eat everything. They'll eat the bones. They'll eat it all.
And Mythbusters one time did an episode trying to find him in the stadium.
Yeah, but if you really think though, if they would have found it, they would have even aired it.
I guess
it's like Top Gear when they're showing off all the different cars, and they're like, this car is such a piece of trash, and they show everything terrible about it, and then they bring in like a Suzuki sidekick or something, and be like, now this is a work of art. Yeah.
Hey, yeah, the Suzuki sidekick is a work of art. How that thing actually was on the road in the 90s.
We had one growing up.
Like there's so many the chicks out here thought they were hot, man. That's what the chicks had. The Suzuki sidekick. With the little top down. All we heard was rollovers.
It did tip, yeah, I remember that. We didn't tip
ours. It used to be a big thing in SUVs. Remember, you'd always have that little tip warning. My dad had Bravada. We'd always have to watch when we're going around corners with that thing. I feel like a wind would just tip you over in that thing.
Dude, I drove a Jeep with no power steering, so
no top.
The top off, but you couldn't turn it, so bitch.
You're just going straight.
And that's back when you could still put a Jeep through just about anything. Probably put corn oil in the gas tank and it would still run. Unlike the ones today where you hit a rock a little too hard and the thing's total.
Yeah, no shit. Ball joint fall off and everything.
What did you do with this Wrangler? I took it off road. Why would you take it off road? It's an off road vehicle. Are you stupid?
No, they're made for big fancy wheels.
Yeah,
to make it look like they were going off road.
I remember watching a little bit of Top Gear here and there. Is that still a thing?
What is
Top Gear?
It still exists, I believe. I mean, obviously, Clarkson, Hammond, and May are doing the Amazon thing they're on Amazon doing a thing called the Grand Tour. They've done a few seasons of that. Anymore, they don't do a weekly show. Those three don't do a weekly show. They just do the specials every year or so at this point.
Also, looking at cars, I went to go see a movie yesterday, Guardians of the Galaxy, and they showed Gran Turismo, the movie, coming out. Speaking of video games to movies, or is that a thing now?
I think that one's more based on the story. I guess there was a kid who was a really good Gran Turismo driver, and Gran Turismo held a tournament to see which one of these drivers could actually run a real car.
So it's not the Wizard. If you remember that, there's an old Damon knows that what it looks like. The Wizard back in the day.
Yeah. And speaking of racing here too, Matt and I were talking about this the other night. NASCAR pulling off a race in Chicago got rained out, unfortunately.
But, the street race.
Yeah, legit in the streets of Chicago.
How did that affect traffic? Like, I guess traffic had to be diverted everywhere else, right? Like, because it's on like Lakeshore Drive and Grant Park.
I forget where the layout was. Matt probably knows more of the layout, but it rained so hard and so bad. Like some areas were like almost underwater.
Yeah.
And the guy who won, it was his first NASCAR race ever, and
okay, so it was by Grant Park, which that's a big traffic area, right? I mean, for Chicago.
Yeah, I don't like Chicago. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. I'm giving it several.
Where would you go if you could go anywhere today? What city is your baby?
Is it in the country or out the country?
We'll start in country first.
In the country.
It is America.
and I'm going to be drinking Modelo's and El Jimador.
Taco Tuesday.
The finest our brothers from the South have to offer.
In the state, I don't know if I have a favorite city inside the state. You know, I mean, there's been places that I've enjoyed going that I did. Okay, nope, I take it back. Vegas.
Vegas.
That would be a good one.
I am a Vegas fan. I am a Vegas fan for real. Like, that place is awesome. And I don't even gamble. That place is awesome. I was spending 40% of my time in the M&M store.
Oh, there you go.
Only 40? It's been like 80.
Yeah. No, because I gotta go act like I'm bougie and to go into Michael Kors or the Tom Ford store and just stand there and look at stuff that I can't afford ever.
Forget that. I'll go around and go to the dive bars and try not to be one of those regular tourists.
Are you you're the Clark Griswold in Vegas Vacation doing the which hand? This one.
Dude, they got escalators outdoors, man.
Uh-oh. Oh, Matt is coming in with favorite city is Charlotte, North Carolina. Flair country.
Woo!
That's cool. Woo! I mean, Charlotte's cool. I haven't been there, but I hear good things about Charlotte.
I was in Charlotte for like 2 nights, and it was pretty nice when I was down there.
And see, I am kind of lame. I do love Chicago. There's something. I mean, I guess just being here all the time, and you go to Chicago, and there's just this whole different vibe there. And a lot of the people I love end up going there. So
I mean, I like Philly, but I'm not going too far into certain parts of Philly.
I would like to go Nashville. I've never done a Nashville.
I haven't been to Nashville. I've driven through, but I've never hung out in Nashville. That's a place I'd like to go because of the music history.
Yes.
I would like to go down there and catch some of those. I think they got a famous street down there. You know, I mean, and Nashville has a good food scene. A lot of places I want to go has to do with food. So I definitely will.
Yeah. New Orleans is the place to go.
Yeah.
But I don't necessarily like some of the other stuff Nashville has to offer. I'll just say that and leave that alone. But I think, music wise, that would be awesome. Because they said, starting at like 9 or 10, bars just have their windows open and you hear rock music, you hear country music, you got blues. I mean, you have the gamut that you can choose from. So, and I've been to New Orleans twice for WrestleMania, so I've seen how that's all about.
Yeah, I mean, I do enjoy Houston's a nice city to visit. Wouldn't want to stay there, but it's a nice city to visit. There's a couple places like I really want to go. I'd like to go to Denver. I think Denver would be a fun city to go. but I'd have to get my sickle cell trait tested to make sure I can go to Denver because I don't want to go there and die.
Look at his worst city here, Damon. Ann Arbor.
Oh, okay.
All of the Wolverines.
At least Ann Arbor's a city, unlike State College.
Yeah.
I went not to completely trash on State College. It's a decent area out there. There's to get out there, you got to definitely drive through some of the mountains, and it can be a nice drive. But the parking, I went to one Penn State game, and Matt can attest to it more than I can. But oh God, the parking! You have to park like a mile or two away from Beaver Stadium in a random field in the middle of nowhere. It seems like, and then walk in, and then trying to get out takes 3 hours because there's only like 2 ways to get out or something like that.
No, we have plenty of parking in Ann Arbor around a world-class stadium. You know, the largest stadium in the country, and I think it's the 4th largest stadium in the world. So I'm good. I'm good with how they efficiently move people in and out of such a world-class stadium, so to speak. You know what I mean? Like it dwarfs other places in the Big Ten who claim that they have large stadiums. So, yeah.
Well, that's like they're talking about the Colts. We're going to play in that stadium in Germany that's less than some colleges. So I was like, wow, that's kind of crazy.
Where are they playing in Germany?
Is it
Stockholm?
No,
Frankfurt?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a soccer stadium there that is recently new, and they're going to play there. I think they're playing. I forget who they're playing, but
yeah,
they'll be playing there because I think there's like 2 weeks that the NFL is going to do games in Europe. 2 weekends.
Great.
Yeah, they got. I think a game in London and a game in. We always have a game in London, and then I think they're adding a game in Germany. Yeah.
Back to back. So
even baseball did their game in London. They had a.
Yeah, that was the Reds, wasn't it?
I'm trying to remember who it was. I can't remember.
Well, you know the Jags always go to London because eventually we'll have the London Jaguars.
I mean, you would think it would get that far, you know what I mean? But, yeah, they're like their adopted team.
Yeah. Which sport do we think gets out, past Canada for the first international team?
Well, you can do a lot of things when you come outside of the United States, but I don't think you can do outside of your territory, so to speak. Like we can do leagues with Canada, and I feel that we can do leagues with Mexico. And I would not be surprised if the NFL was the next team to explore outside the country, being in Mexico City, being the 4th largest city in the world. That market value, and they love NFL football. We've been there every year for I think the last decade, excluding the pandemic. So I can see that happening, but I don't see it being across oceans. That's too much of a time difference when you have 30 teams plus the teams that will be over there that you have to mix back and forth. So I don't think you can do it outside of your continent, so to speak.
Across the ocean.
Yeah. Just looking here too, looks like the London series for baseball was Cubs Cardinals next year. It's going to be Mets Philly.
Oh.
So
we're kind of doing rivalries. It look, right?
Yeah, I mean, because
you want Mets and Phillies aren't really a rival, but like Cubs
division.
Yeah,
it's divisional rival.
The Cubs and Cardinals are. I know people live and die by those teams.
Yeah, and even too, I think. I'm not shocked Philly's going over since one of the MLB ambassadors for baseball in Europe is Chase Utley. So you got a former Philly over there. I'm shocked it took him this long to get over. Yeah, hockey probably. Well, soccer.
I would say the second most global sport. Yeah. I would have to go with football. I would have to go with football to be its most global.
Football? Yeah.
I'm actually.
But even then, you still couldn't get them to go. Like a league, like a season to be going across oceans.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what are you going to do? Send a team over there for a month and play a month of games over there? And then, I don't think this fiscally or logistically possible to do something like that, even with those two sports, like as large as they are. You know what I mean? How difficult is it to do it with Canada and the United States now? And you want to throw a team in Europe or South America in there? I don't think it'll work.
Uh-oh. Private chat.
Yeah. Can you guys still hear me at all?
Yes, we can hear you.
So my camera's just being dumb. Fantastic. Yeah, because everything's plugged in.
That
PA Dutch internet.
Radiation in the air.
Yeah, we'll blame the power plant.
Gonna have some body parts going out of his head pretty soon. Matt is saying the hockey does. They play games in Denmark. Yeah, we kind of brought up that you can play. I don't think that's the problem. Doing one game a year.
Yeah, I mean, the baseball does one game a year. Football does one game a year. You talk about a season where you have 30 plus teams traveling back and forth across the oceans. You know what I mean? You can't do that. I mean, if you thought they was doing load management now, shit.
LeBron ain't traveling across the sea.
There we go.
LeBron ain't traveling across the sea for a game in Timbuktu, Morocco, Africa.
That's good. I mean, it sounds great. I mean, it would be nice eventually for us to get to a world league like that, but logistically, I don't think it can happen. You know what I mean? Especially not the way travel is now, and you got to go different countries and different rules, different. Yeah, I mean that's a lot.
I think one thing that might work out is if you do like a preseason thing, not have it be regular season, because I know baseball a couple times has gone out to the Tokyo Dome in Japan, like preseason, like the Red Sox or like an all-star team will go out there and play like the Japan team or something like that.
But that would really wouldn't. I mean, that would just be like exhibition. Right?
Yeah, just the next.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Don't make it a regular season thing, because in the regular season, it's like flying to Europe and flying back. It's just it's going to be murder on travel, and then.
I mean, I guess the only thing you think now it's probably a little bit more logistic, just based on the back in the day when travel wasn't as easy to do.
Yeah,
you didn't have red-eye flights and all that. So.
That's true, but
these athletes complain about everything. You put them on the game and red-eye their ass back here, man. They'd be out 2 weeks.
Actually, Matt in the chat made a good point too. Formula One does it all the time. Would you argue Formula One being a more global thing than some other sports? I mean, it seems like everywhere every major nation has some kind of Grand Prix, except for us, Americans.
That sounds like that might, but that sounds like that could happen.
I mean, but it's not I mean, I guess you can technically say that. You know what I mean? You can technically say that about golf too. You know what I mean? Because you can play all over. But I mean, if you come to like a team sport, basketball, you know what I mean? But then again, those are individuals. Not every driver goes to every race. Not every golfer goes to every tournament. You know what I mean? Like you have an 82 game season.
So we're just trying to go the league itself, kind of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of the major sports like NFL, NBA, NHL, MLB.
Yeah. Sorry, when my camera was off, I kind of zoned out there for a little bit.
You're good.
Get that.
I mean, because we're watching Wimbledon. Like I'm watching Wimbledon right now. I mean, Wimbledon, you can say you can travel, but you're at a place for 2 weeks. You know what I mean? A tournament is 2 weeks. You're at that place for that race for. Well, I don't know. I can't really speak on tournaments. On racing, because I know Indianapolis is extraordinary. They're here for a month. And most races, they're not there for a whole month.
I feel like you fly in, especially Formula One, because they probably got the money to fly in and fly out that day. Because some of those teams are like Ferrari and Lamborghini and whatnot. So I don't know what the 3 major Grand Prix. I guess we'll have to see what that. What he put that comment. We have 3 major Grand Prix. So we'll get our crack research team on that.
What 3 major Grand Prix? So what Mexico?
Is there one in Canada?
I would say Morocco.
No, but I thought we were talking in the States, like here in America. Oh, Miami. Oh, here he goes. Miami, Vegas, and Austin have Grand Prix. Okay.
Of course, they'd put it out in Vegas. I mean, everything's going. The Raiders go to Vegas. The Athletics go to Vegas. Vegas just loves stealing Oakland sports teams. So one of the Golden State Warriors going to go to Vegas.
They just moved. They just moved to the Bay. They just moved to San Francisco.
But the Kings
that's right. They did move out.
The Kings is getting a new stadium, so they're not going anywhere.
Oh, they got new ownership too. I forgot. They have new. Don't they have new? Are we going to get the Seattle Supersonics in Vegas?
Or no, they probably just need to stay in Seattle. If you
they're gonna. If that'll be the next NBA expansion team will be back to Seattle.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll be the Sonics, but I know they're going to bring a team back to Seattle.
I guess it can't be the Sonics because technically the Thunder have the history of the Sonics, right?
I mean, you can. They did it with the Bobcats.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, it would just be a separate history.
Yeah, that's true.
Because they've baseball.
Same thing with the Colts.
Yeah. Like Colts in Baltimore. Yeah,
and
Johnny Unitas does not want to be affiliated with Indianapolis Colts.
No. I'm trying to think here, too, because I think if you retrace Oakland, obviously they were the Philadelphia A's at the beginning of their life. Then they moved to Kansas City, I believe, and then they moved to Oakland, and then they moved to Vegas.
They had the perfect game thrown against them.
Had the perfect game.
But I mean, if you haven't been to Oakland in a while, I'm surprised that they've held on to those teams that long. Oakland is hurting, bro.
Yeah, I believe
Oakland is a city that's hurting bad. So I'm not surprised they couldn't hold on to them because they couldn't afford to give them a new stadium.
Well, that's some of the argument too. We played it on the show where apparently the mayor of Oakland and then the MLB offices are sitting there butting heads because one side saying one thing, MLB saying another thing, and it just kind of seems to be that MLB was just going to do anything it could just to get a team in Vegas, and the Athletics just happen to be that team. At least that's my opinion.
They're going to be a bit. They're moving out. There's not going to be the Oakland Athletics.
No, they're still going to have all of the lineage of the Athletics.
So they'll be a Vegas.
They're just moving to Vegas.
Okay, got it.
So
I didn't call
kind of like the Raiders moving to Vegas.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what I was kind of saying. Like Oakland started in Philadelphia, Kansas City, Oakland, Vegas. So if they talk about any Las Vegas Athletics team records, they could trace it all the way back to, Connie Mack Stadium in Philadelphia.
So because it wasn't a sale or a change of ownership or a change of organization, it's just that the team moved. It's kind of like with the Cardinals going in football, going from St. Louis to Los Angeles and back to St. Louis. All those records are still the Rams because it was never something different, right? Is that the thinking that I'm getting?
Something like that, because I'm trying to remember too, because I'm trying to remember who started. Because there have been so many teams in and out of that Kansas City area that have either branched off somewhere else and started something. Because I know Oakland's got that. Who is the other Kansas City team I'm thinking of? I got to look. This is going to annoy me.
Okay.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Damon, here's the question. Because it came up because of the perfect game. What's the one thing you'd want to see in person? Like a feat like the perfect game. Is there something like that you'd be like, oh my gosh, I want to be there? Besides, I want to see my Pacers win a championship. Like, is there an individual feat you'd like to see? I
know. Not per se any special thing. I think there are events I would like to see. Like I would love to watch a match on center court at Wimbledon. You know what I'm saying? I would love to do something like that. I would love to, watch a football game and the big ketchup bottle, since that's not the name of it anymore, which is ridiculous. But I mean, there's like little things I would like to sporting events I would like to see, but not one specific a home run or
like Wilt's 100-point game. I think
Happened in Hershey.
I would have loved
That would have been fun to watch, but I wouldn't have been like, oh my god, I would have loved to see
I guess
that.
we wouldn't
But
have
then,
known. I guess at the time too, we wouldn't have known
right.
what it meant in the grand scheme.
I mean, I would love to have watched Will play.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But I'm more on stuff like that. I would love to watch a match on center court at Wimbledon. I would love to watch a World Cup match, you know what I mean, in Mexico or something of that nature. You know what I mean? I'm looking into those type of things. Go to India and watch a cricket match. You know, why? I don't know.
Just to say you've done it, mark it off of like the perfect game is tough because you might not even know until like I'm not a big baseball fan, so like it would take me a few to really realize what was going on.
I found out what I was getting confused with. Okay. So there was a baseball team called the St. Louis Browns that were in the American League in the early 1900s. They moved to Baltimore and became the Orioles. That's who I was.
Okay.
That's who I was.
That's like completely different because that's like a whole new team.
Yeah, that
like owner. I would imagine ownership and everything.
Yeah, so they existed forever. Poor attendance and competition with the Cardinals was reason for the move.
And Matt has seen a no-hitter in person. I think that, that would be
my biggest regret on something that the things I wish I would have seen versus things I could have gone seen. Yeah. My sophomore year when I was out at IUP, Philly made the playoffs, and it was Roy Halladay's first playoff start in his career. And my friend had tickets. He's like, hey, do you want to go? I'm like, I can't. I've got, papers to write and classes to get to the next day. And it would have been like a 6 hours of driving, if not longer, one way. So it was like, it would kill me. Well, I wish it would have.
And this is kind of a dumb one, but I wouldn't mind seeing somebody roll a 300 in bowling. I think that'd be kind of cool to see. So
did he have what was the significance of that game?
He threw a no-hitter.
Oh, okay.
It was
his first
playoff start. He no-hits the Cardinals.
Nice.
Oh, no, he no-hit the Reds. He no-hit the Reds.
Did it take him a while to get in the playoffs right?
Yeah, it was. He never sniffed the playoffs, I believe, until he was in Philadelphia. Okay. And that was the tail end of his career, or what ended up being the tail end of his career.
He's retired a few years, right?
Yeah, Roy Halladay's dead now, but
he's dead. Oh,
yeah, he died in a tragic plane accident.
Oh, okay. That was a few years ago. Was that?
Yeah, that was a few years ago, and then it started coming out that he was having a lot of basically like a sports psychology kind of issue thing where he never felt that he was good enough, even though he was one of the best guys on the mound. And towards the end of his career, he was battling a lot of those demons in Philadelphia.
Wow.
Yeah, and Matt, too. He had a perfect game earlier that year against Miami.
Oh. Wow.
So with Roy Halladay's career, you could argue his best seasons were in Toronto, but his best games were in Philadelphia.
Oh, he's the first pitcher to throw a perfect game and a playoff no-hitter in the same season.
Yeah, so I had a chance I had a chance and a ticket ready for me to go to that playoff no-hitter, and I passed it up so I could write a stupid paper.
Paper that
got you an education that they could never take away from you.
That was for a generic English class. That
I tried.
Take it away from him.
I much rather would have gone to that game. I could have. The professor gave us an extension on it anyway. I went up after class. I handed it in, and I'm like, "You're giving me an A on this. I'm turning it in now. Like, this is bullshit."
Or like being a Pacer fan, like Reggie Miller's 8 points in 9 seconds. Like, I think being there live would be.
Oh, awesome. I would lose. I would just be.
Or Reggie Miller scoring 26 points in a quarter and finishing the game with 26 points.
Yep.
How about that game?
Yeah.
What's
Don't get
now in
not
terms
being at the one where he got blocked by Tayshaun Prince.
Now, how about you flip it? What's like the best thing you've seen? The things we wish you would have seen. The worst thing you've seen in person. Like like, for example, I was in Baltimore for a Phillies game, and the Phillies are getting absolutely shelled. So they brought in an outfielder to pitch. The reason why this goes in my memory as something that's absolutely terrible is because from the dugout, they're trying to call the bullpen, trying to get another guy in because the outfielder's thrown like 70-some pitches by this time, and the bullpen phone is off the hook. So they're sitting in the dugout literally waving any kind of towel they had.
Wow.
Yeah, and I've heard about that one too.
Getting no hit by Josh Beckett.
Yeah, when he pitched for the Dodgers. And the Phillies are sitting there waving towels trying to get the bullpen's attention. And so the pitching coach comes out to try to buy time, and Chase Utley comes to the mound and just absolutely reams out the coach in the middle of the field with like probably 15,000 people watching because it was an Orioles-Philly game and both teams were garbage.
I think, well, I mean, this is recently, but I was at that Colts-Raiders game when, like, the Colts just thought they could roll in there and easily win and keep moving on, I think. And they just got shellacked by the Raiders.
Imagine being a Patriots fan.
That's your worst memory is the Colts, bro.
I told you it's like that recency bias.
Of all the things that you've lived through, the Colts, there's just, oh my Lord.
I can't think of it. Like, I've seen some good Pacer stuff. I mean, I had to go see Pacer games during the Brawl years, so I guess you could count that. Seen a lineup: Troy Murphy, Mike Dunleavy.
Hey, we need to get you outside of the city.
Yeah.
No, the worst thing that I think I've seen, I will agree, I've seen a lot. I mean, I'm damn near 50 years old, so I've seen a lot of good things in sports. I've seen a lot of terrible things in sports. But the thing that sticks out to me, the worst thing that I've seen 2 years ago, right up here in Westfield at the Pacers Athletic Center, up here watching my daughter, play AAU tournament. And a friend of mine has got a clip of me in the YouTube video on it too. There's hilarious, but it was on the news and everything. Big huge brawl at a girls AAU, under 16 basketball tournament. And I mean, you got parents fighting kids, you got kids fighting coaches. I mean, that was probably one of the lowest moments to me dealing with basketball. You know what I mean? So I was very disappointed in my city. I was very disappointed in my sport. I was very disappointed in the parents who participated and encouraged and allowed something like this to go on. So, but I know all of those kids were and those families were excluded from all AAU events for the rest of that season. I think even the season after. So,
what was your part in it? Did you?
I was one of the breaker. I was one of the breaker uppers because it was like right behind me. Because I mean, we were like watching my daughter and them play, and then
all of a sudden, 10
seconds later, I'm breaking up coaches and kids and all kind of stuff. Man, it was pretty bad.
What was the actual? Was there any instigating factor into it?
From what I gathered, a parent didn't like something that a coach was doing. And no, what it was, a parent from the team that was winning came off the bench, had a cell phone, and had it in the referee's face, just following him around in his face. The referee's trying to walk away. He's following him around, in his limit, in his 2 feet radius. And so the referee swung on him. Unfortunately, he missed, and then that started the whole brawl. You know what I mean? I think he walked out. I think they took him out on the stretcher because he got slammed on the side of his neck and all kind of stuff. I mean, I mean, it was bad. I think the ref was calling a horrible game, and the parents, the one parent, I think they were from Michigan, got a little ornery. And I mean, for one, you shouldn't have been able to be on the court.
Yeah, like
how
like another thing too. Why is the phone always the first thing? I'm going to record you and yell at you about how bad you are. Like, what?
First of all, what gives you that? I guess if you have that as your defense in case something happens.
Oh well, something did happen, and they were the cause of it.
Yeah, you were the cause of it, exactly.
You're usually the instigator, but
so like the people who do that 9 times out of 10, I feel like, are the ones escalating the issue.
Yeah, I hate when I see like the kids fights, and you have the kids filming, and they're the ones, and I'm like, and now
Oh yeah, with you being in the educational department, I know you get a lot of that, man. I hate my son watching those videos, man. Like, bro. And why are you watching that? Well, for what? I mean, what you gonna do?
And
you gonna do a TikTok challenge on the teacher? Like, get out of here, bro.
They're starting to charge the kids that are filming because those kids are instigating the fight just as much as
they should.
So
they should. It's a form of bullying. They should. I mean, why are you recording it and why are you showing it? You know what I mean? That's just like, yeah. I told him if I catch you in any some shit like that, bro, I would take your phone for the rest of your life.
Or even these kids are egging on teachers. And I get, the teachers have to hold them, but man, it just,
Hey, listen, I'm from a day and age. You got up in the teacher's face, you got your ass knocked out, and your parent was like, well, you shouldn't have been outside the child's place.
So it's almost like the teacher would do something, but just wait till you get home because it's going to be twice as bad.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
My threat always was growing up, my dad was a school administrator. So it didn't matter.
He had that paddle in the office.
No, he didn't have that. But he wasn't an administrator at my school. He was at another school.
Well, I meant, but at home, he might have.
Nah, never had that at home.
Okay.
I get.
I wasn't.
He was a good kid.
My mom and dad grew up with the nuns and the rulers on the knuckles.
Ooh. What
he was Catholic.
Yeah.
You were Catholic and left-handed.
Kneel down on the rice. Was that ever a thing?
That one I don't remember, but yeah.
I always heard about that one, possibly.
No.
Every time you did kneeling anyway, it felt like you were kneeling forever. So
up and down, up and down, up and down.
Yeah, I remember John Mulaney had a good skit about that. He's like, I was batting 100 at this, Catholic mass, and I was all ready to say it, and they're, we're holding hands. Peace be, and with your spirit. He's like, oh damn, I messed up. Because now they've changed it to, and with your spirit.
Hey fellas, I'm gonna have to cut you short. I'm getting a low battery on my earphones, and I gotta actually start tending to some food around here.
All right, yeah, we're gonna head off here soon. I don't want to keep anybody too long.
No, you good, but appreciate it hanging out with you guys. We should, and Andy Murray is winning.
All right.
There we go. That's the update we were waiting for.
Yeah. All right, fellas, have a good holiday.
Later, man.
You too.
Keep all your fingers.
I got 10 right now.
Whoopsies.
All right. I mean, that's probably a good stopping point, right? I mean,
we're almost an hour 15 in. That was fun.
No problem. Yeah. So thank you for watching. We'll do this again soon. How
do you delay the hot dog eating contest? And on that poor note.
well, now we'll have time to watch the rain delay. Well, we have Greg brought up we need to watch the intros. So I guess did we already miss the intros of the hot dogs? I guess.
I thought that was at 2:00.
Okay.
I thought it started at 2.
Maybe it's coming up, but we'll get off so we can watch that. So, what's your big holiday tradition today?
I'm having my parents coming over. I'm smoking up some wings. Gonna grill some burgers and hot dogs.
Are you blow up shit, or do you just guys hang out?
We just hang out. None of us like risking. Pennsylvania always had weird firework laws for years. So
I do remember those days. Like you'd have to watch what you're shooting.
Well, growing up, like it was within the last few years or whatever that you could privately buy, things that actually shot.
Oh, okay.
You always had to buy like the sparklers.
Yeah.
And like you go to the roadside thing and be like, oh, here's a box, you light the match and it shoots off different color sparks. Yeah. That's the only thing we could ever do. So there was never a risk of us blowing our fingers and toes off.
Like our summer, like we take a trip to Georgia, and there's always a Tennessee, Georgia outlet of fireworks. And we'd stop there and just get probably spend way too much. But
yeah. Now that's not to say that I don't know people who used to go out of state to bring things into launch.
Yeah, and that yes. Yeah.
But in Pennsylvania, you weren't allowed to launch things like that into the air. That has since changed, but there's still some rules. But
I remember the old you'd have to show your ID before buying. fireworks.
Yeah, I don't know. Our thing was the 4th of July America like box. Like you buy like the tube, the match, and it shoots the sparkles.
Like a Meyer thing has.
Yeah, it makes loud noises and sparkles. And you go, yay, America.
Yeah. But what was that? Well, I thought it was just the ID thing. I don't know. I'm sure you guys have this now. When I buy cough syrup or cough medicine now, you have to show your ID because of all the kids sucking down cough syrup to try to get
of all the things. Why just?
I remember back in my day, it was Binaca, and kids would try to suck on that because it had a 0.000001% of alcohol.
So you had to sit there and do like 30,000.
So they thought that'd be cool and do it, and I'm like, so then we had to outlaw Binaca because too many kids were buying it.
Of course.
But I remember the first time I bought cough syrup and they're like, I need to see your ID, and I was like, just cough syrup.
When I was working Home Depot for a little bit, in order to buy like lighter fluid or matches or anything, you needed to needed to put in a birthday. I'd just take one. I'd take like one look at the person and be like, yeah, you're over 18.
Hey, I felt okay though, because one guy typed in my age is 1991. I was like, hey, that's fine with me.
That's my year.
I'm like, that's my year. Well, I'm 1981, so that's
close enough.
Yeah, that's how I was like. That's how I took the 91.
8 and 9 are similar enough.
I took the 91. I was like, I'm not going to say anything. I'll take that. Well, it's really sad now when all they have to do is see the 19 and be like, "Yep, you're good. Go on."
Yeah.
Now it's 2003. I think is the youngest. That would be 21-year-old. So, oh, we're old. Well, I'm old. You're still youngin'. 10.
I feel
31.
32. Yeah, but
32.
I feel old. I feel like 42. Woke up this morning. It's like, nope, my neck's stiff, my back's tight, my shoulders are gonna pop when I roll out of bed. So let's get this day started.
I don't know what they're doing. Some of these kids, more. I feel like some teenagers I've seen a chiropractor more than I've ever seen them in my life, and I'm like, I don't know what they're doing to their bodies, but man, get it together.
I don't know what I broke my arm, but that was just that was a freak accident. But
knock on wood, no broken bones yet. 2 surgeries for hernia.
Oof. So, yeah, I got plates and screws running down my arm.
You're Lex Luger. You got the steel plate in your arm.
Right there, and then there's the good one.
There you go.
Yeah, that arm was put into a Z.
Cowboy Bob with his cast that lasted for years.
Was that Lex Luger? Was that a WCW? He had the rod and he hit people.
He had it since I think he had it even WWF days.
Oh jeez.
Yeah.
Have
you seen him lately though? I do feel.
I just watched the Dark Side of the Ring where they were talking about. No, I think it might have been a rerun.
Yeah, and he's
on
pretty hurt.
Yeah, he doesn't look good.
Oh, and then Mongo, Steve Mongo McMichael, who's from WCW days. I mean, he's like a shell.
Yeah, a lot of those. I saw a photo of Hogan recently too. It's just like, Hogan, dude, like you're not looking good. Yeah, I mean, he's still standing, but.
Our Mick Foley, Mick Foley. I mean, he's put on a ton of weight.
Well, he also has how many? He's had both hips done, both knees.
He's had
he's the $1 million man. We can rebuild him.
He's I wonder what is not insured on him.
Yeah, really.
So, all right. Well, this has been fun. I think we should do it. Kind of make these happen quarterly, or whatever we can do it. But thanks for joining us, and we'll talk to you guys. Well, when can we see you again, Quigs? That's what I meant to ask Damon. We didn't get his little shameless plug.
I got to talk with John with the All-Star game coming up. I think it's next week. It's the 10th or 11th. Okay.
Where's that happening this year?
That's in Seattle this year. So yeah, I think the home run derby is the 10th. The game's the 11th. So
does Ichiro get a big celebration?
What was that?
Ichiro, does he get a big celebration?
He should.
He might still playing?
No, he's been retired for a few years. Yeah. Okay. He'll be eligible for the Hall of Fame, I think, within the next 2 or 3 years.
Oh my gosh.
So I think it's 5 years post-retirement.
That makes sense. Yeah, that sounds like the typical. And Ohtani, he's the big.
Yeah,
that the guy we're watching. Can he win MVP and Cy Young?
This year he could. He's hit like a dozen or so home runs within the last 30 days.
In June, I think
he's
he had
pitching
the second or the most ever with Babe Ruth and somebody else I saw.
Yeah, he had an incredible June. He's pitching tonight against the Padres, I believe.
Okay.
And that's a TBS game.
I would love to see Babe Ruth play back in the day.
Yeah, it would have been crazy.
That would have been. But it is crazy to think you don't know when you're watching those moments what they mean until after the
Yeah,
like they're just like Wilch 100 game. You don't know in that moment, or Reggie's
you could look back knowing exactly what's going to happen, and then you get to see everybody else's reaction as it's happening.
Yeah. So, our wise, we keep rolling. So much wrestling to watch nowadays.
Oh yeah, especially with the new Saturday show.
Oh my gosh. Well, like we brought up, that's gonna because I love that WWE has shifted pay-per-views or premium live events, as they're called now, to Saturday. Like that was why that wasn't a thing back in the day. I get it, but that is such a godsend. So you can actually have Sunday just to, because they're like, especially like WrestleMania, like on a Sunday night, I think it was WrestleMania Dallas. It was done like 12:30, 12:45. And then you still got to roll into work, Well,
that was before WrestleMania was 8-hour event.
Yes. And they didn't make it 2 days.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. I like the 2 day. They haven't said yet for Philly if it's going to be 2 days or not.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be 2.
I think they need to keep it at the 2 days.
Because they'll probably do, since it's in Philly, they'll probably do Mania at Lincoln Financial.
And they are, yep.
And then they'll do the NXT event at the stadium.
Basketball. Oh, man, look at this. We got Big Ben. This is the old face. That is so cool. Big Ben is a big, he's been in our Super Kicking It show on the chat a lot of times. So I appreciate him showing up as we're wrapping up. But current player for WrestleMania 40 is Cody and Roman too. So, Big Ben's going to be there. We'll have to have a correspondent on the ground there.
Yeah, no, that was fun. We did that with Matt during the World Series this last year since Philadelphia was in it. He was at one of the games. John and I were watching. We did it. Huh?
Who was at the game? Cody?
Matt Source was.
Oh, Matt Source. Okay, sorry.
And I sent him the link to chime in, and in between innings or whatever, John and I are sitting here streaming the game on separate computers and reacting and everything. And then every couple innings, we'd bring in Matt from the stands, and he'd give us the update there. So that's always a cool thing to do. So, so you can link up with Ben here, see if you can get some ads
in the footage of when Cody loses again to Roman. Somebody put a post WrestleMania 50, and it's all the bloodline characters like with gray beards and still holding all their titles.
I saw that one.
I was like.
That one and the Roman Reigns returns the man's made so many different returns all over.
Yeah, I'm starting to. Yeah, it is. Well, and just like AEW, they'll always be like, so speaks, and I'm like, all right,
great. Here's a 10-minute segment of nothing.
Yeah, AEW. I mean, they've kind of lost their. It seems to go in waves for AEW. They kind of find that spark, but then they can't seem to sustain it. Hopefully they'll. I mean, I keep joking. I'm like, you know what? I want the Young Bucks. I want Hangman, and I want Kenny in WWE. Like, I want their foundation, but that's. Oh, he wants more for Braun Breaker. Yeah, that's a big. Oh, we got a fellow Phillies fan too there for you. So there you go.
They
so
travel.
Big Ben, you have to start checking out Quigg's baseball show. What time do you guys normally do it?
We are not consistent with that, and the original plan was Sundays at 11, but football season and everything when that first started, that always got in the way. So we've been doing
And then we kind of
we've been doing Sunday nights for the last couple of weeks. So
I feel like the weekend shows are the best, like, especially like we said with our wrestling show now, it gives us a week to catch up. It gives us time to catch up for that Saturday morning.
Yeah.
But now, of course, Collision on Saturday night, it's kind of crazy because we're catching up on the last week and then, almost previewing that night. So it's just a weird. I was going to Phillies in Tampa tonight.
I'm going to watch that one. That's Aaron Nola versus former Philly Zach Eflin. So it's going to be Eflin gets to face the Phillies the first time since he left.
Zac Efron. I was like,
no, not Zac Efron. Zac Efron is not pitching for the Rays, but
he needs a new career. Baywatch 2 is not coming out anytime soon.
Oh God, The Rock couldn't save that franchise.
I was thinking about I was talking about that show back in the day and all the women that kind of got big because of it, but I was surprised they ever rebooted that. I think did they try to reboot that maybe early 2000 or mid?
I don't remember. I know they tried the movie, but
and that was with Zac Efron.
Yeah,
The Rock. Who was the main woman?
I don't know. No, I didn't see the movie.
Yeah,
it looked dumb from the previews, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm good."
Guardians 3 was very good. It really. Yeah. This is the big news. Yeah, Rhonda. I think she's going to be done.
Going back.
I think she wants to go back, which is a weird. Well, I mean, Brock technically. Well, no, he didn't go back.
But
Brock started WWE, went there, and then came back.
But didn't Ronda's last UFC fight she got shelled?
She got shelled her last few.
Yeah, I get shell shot.
That's the only thing I could think is if she wants to try to, finish off the right way. And of course now WWE and UFC are under
the umbrella.
So I mean, she could do the UFC thing for a little bit and probably be right back in the good graces.
I mean, she's definitely made her money from WWE, so it could be one of those, go back and
maybe if she doesn't, she can
and
she can train and not have to do well. And she's really not on TV that much anyway.
Then I didn't realize Nunes retired, so that's
she had retired her last
with the belt.
Yeah, I think she retired as
because nobody was like. I even remember too, like the main event for the women. It's going to be Amanda Nunes versus somebody. Amanda Nunes is going to knock out.
Yeah, and she knocked her out right away.
Yeah, like they weren't even close. She was a beast, and I'm not the biggest.
Ronda's early run. I think her first 3 or 4 matches were not even a minute total.
No, but that was a totally different. I'm not the biggest MMA follower or anything, so anything I say could be horribly wrong. Well, it's evolved so much.
Yeah,
Ronda was, from at least my perspective, early on, like it was morphed around her, and now as it's advanced, Ronda's background's in judo. Like who fights in the UFC or any kind of MMA, and judo is the main.
That's true.
Fighting for the main form. Everybody, it's either jiu-jitsu or kickboxing or some type of thing that encases all of it.
And at least she's going to go out probably putting when does Gabe Stevenson make his? That is a good question.
Never.
He is on TV right now.
He's
been training this guy in NXT named Eddie Thorpe. And that's what's crazy is he's in NXT. But he's been drafted to Raw. So
who knows?
Yeah, and they also signed. I think the woman that just recently won gold. There was a woman in the Olympics that just won gold, and from the U.S. that they signed her. I can't remember her name.
But
I know her and Gable were at a WrestleMania together, and they introduced them. I think they just signed that one.
So, okay.
But there's a lot happening. We'll be back live Saturday, catching up on the weekly shows. We don't have any big events this week. August is going to be the busy month because August 5th is SummerSlam. August 20-something is All In Wembley. That's for AEW. And then the next weekend, first weekend of September, is AEW All Out in Chicago. So that's going to be huge for AEW to run back-to-back big events, and especially the Wembley show, because they're already predicting about 60-some thousand already.
Yeah.
So, and the first, big European show for them. So, and then there's WrestleMania might try to go to London, but that's going to be some years away.
Yeah,
because they book out 3 or 4 years for WrestleMania. So, so we'll be back up. What's this?
Yeah, I was going to say, anything I know about MMA is next to nothing. So
that's what we need, Greg. He's the big UFC guy for me. He can tell me all the history and all that fun stuff. So, just glad that AEW finally got rid of what was his name? Is the UFC guy that was really annoying. Paige Van Zandt.
Oh, Dan Lambert.
Lambert, yes. Whew. That was
I forgot that little group was in it.
That was a weird.
I forgot about that one.
I don't know what they were trying. I don't know if they were trying to get the deal done with UFC or what, but that just anyway. So, all right, I think we'll get off here so we can kind of call today and let you. I'm going to go head downtown to our fireworks, and then we got a little arsenal to shoot off afterwards. So
there you go.
I'll be doing that. Get the long wick so I don't burn my hand off.
Yeah, get the long stuff, stand 3 feet away, and then as soon as it's
back it up, Terry.
The other direction.
Back it up, Terry. I saw a shirt of that. I was like, oh man, I need to buy that. I might buy that for next year. I'm just rocking my Born in the USA. Look at that bad boy.
We'll make this the final one. I ask a million questions. Best America theme song: Born in the USA or Freebird?
Because the thing with Born in the USA, it's not really patriotic. It's more anti-war. If you really listen to it, but I'll give you Freebird.
I was going to say
nothing beats 5, 6, 7 minutes of free guitar soloing at the same time. I mean, that just.
Yeah, I mean, you just play the guitar solo, just throw in a screeching eagle every now and then.
There's a live take that's 17 minutes out there. There's a live version, so.
Oh, yeah.
They're actually coming here, and I joke. My dad always says play Freebird as his big thing. I almost bought him. Oh, Big Ben said Sweet Caroline. I mean, what about Surfing USA?
There's a bunch. Just with the shirt, and I was joking yesterday, like, if you don't play Freebird 3 times in the same day, are you really celebrating America's birthday?
And somebody put, leave out your Budweiser and rifle for Kid Rock, or he won't come to your house.
Well, Kid Rock's protesting Anheuser-Busch right now, so maybe not leave your Budweiser out.
But that's the whole point with the rifle.
Well, he'll use the rifle just to shoot it all.
Yes. Because, nothing makes a boycott work better than buying the product and then destroying it. Let me tell you.
I stay out of it. I view the video.
We'll leave it at that.
Drink responsibly, have fun, don't set any fires.
I do this with my hand because this is usually the side of the fence that I ride on. But anyways, so yeah. Anyway. Happy birthday, America. Thank you for watching. We'll do this again soon. We'll get Dan on here. I don't know. He was all in, I thought, and then he stiffed us. So just like those paychecks, keep asking for that paycheck.
He'll get on the next one.
We'll end it there. And I don't have an outro, so this is the usual where we hit end broadcast and we wait for that small delay to end it.